Good morning, everyone, and welcome to University Unitarian Church in Seattle, Washington. It's Sunday, November 22nd. My name is John Luopa. I'm the senior minister here and delighted to welcome you to our service this morning. And I apologize for the late start due to technical difficulties. But we are here in the sanctuary with our wonderful minister, Beth Chronister, and our musicians, Dwight and Ian, and our tech crew. And we're going to give you as much of the service as we can this morning, saving the sermon and one piece of music for next week, so that we can keep good time with what we have scheduled after the service this morning. We are entering the holiday season, and it's going to be very different this year, as we all understand, due to the coronavirus. It seems as if the change that we've living through now has been with us at UUC for quite a long time. Those of you who have been members remember that when our building was being refurbished, we were off-site for 18 months at the Meadowbrook Community Center, came back into the building, enjoyed it for 3 months, a little over 3 months, and now have been away on live stream and Zoom for the last 9 months. We are a resilient people, and we've been able to do it because of the staff, because of the lay leadership, and because of your generosity and adaptability in working with us. We will have the board conversation during the coffee hour after the service this morning, and I invite you to join us for that as well. In the month of November, we have scheduled a number of social gatherings. More than 70 people have been participating in these, also by Zoom so far, and one has been scheduled for Thanksgiving Day. If you'd like to participate in any of those, and I encourage you to do so, please check our website for information and the contact medium. Let us begin the service this morning. We gather today as a community of faith, and we come in search of life's meaning. All of us know despair and exaltation. Each of us bears a burden. All have moments of weakness and strength. All sing songs of sorrow and love. May our worship this morning bring us strength along our way. In the presence of the sacred, may we come to know our true selves, finding a fresh impulse to love and to do good. Come, let us worship together. I invite you to join me in singing the doxology here on your screen and our opening hymn immediately following, We Gather Together.
Together in joyful thanksgiving. passion, when bound to human care and all, then we are free.
Good morning, UUC members and friends. I'm Jules Mellon, and when I first entered the doors of UUC 3 years ago, my yearning for a spiritual community had overcome the trepidation I felt about entering a space where I didn't know anyone, and I am so glad I did. One of the things that most attracted me to UUC was the emphasis on social justice. And I have been so enriched by being able to work with UUC members on a broad range of social justice issues. One of my strongest values is racial justice, and I am so grateful to be part of a community of people who are deeply committed to working towards an anti-racist society. In the current racial climate in this country, UUC's Black Lives Matter vigils have been especially meaningful to me. And I'm looking forward to exploring what it means to become an anti-racist congregation. I give because I'm grateful for all that I receive, and because I want to support the staff, programs, and activities that are so meaningful to our members and in the community. Please join me as we share our offertory words. This church is a community of ourselves. Its energy and resources are our energy and resources. Its wealth is what we share. When we contribute to the life of this community, we affirm our lives within it.
Very sweet music here that softer falls than petals from blown roses on the grass, and night dews on still waters between walls of shadowy granite in a gleaming pass. Music that gently on the spirit lies, that tired eyelids upon tired eyes. Music that brings sweet sleep down from the blissful skies.
Once again, friends, we beg your indulgence this morning on our late start due to technical difficulties beyond us, but a great tech crew was able to pull it together and salvage as much of the morning worship service as we've been able to share with you today, and we are grateful to all of them and to you, those of you who are still with us listening this morning. Difficult times indeed for many reasons. Largely the pandemic has wreaked havoc here in our country, all over the world, in our society, even in our congregation, and some more existentially in your own families. As we prepare for the holiday season beginning this week with Thanksgiving, we know that they are going to be celebrated in very different ways than they have been most recently, of course. Travel is being discouraged, if not forbidden, and many of us will be smaller in number if we celebrate the Thanksgiving meal at all. We'll be connecting with friends and relatives long distance, again via technology, and that's going to need to be as best as we can make it be for this particular year, with the strong hope, of course, that next year it will be different. And I feel almost the saying of the old or the ancient Jews who said, next year in Jerusalem, next year we promise that we will be back together again and in a loving embrace with each other. You know, about 20 years ago, we started here a special service in the holiday season called the Solace Service of Solace, usually in early December. It's going to be on December 9th this year. We're going to do it again, of course, because it's become a very important pastoral gesture to our members and to many outside of the community as well. The original intent of that service was to honor those who were not able to be in the festive holiday mood due to grief or loss or difficulty or struggle, and it was a gesture to bring some authenticity into the forced happiness and gladness of the holiday time. And it's become meaningful for many, many people who come and light a candle and share a concern and listen to music and feel not alone. It's almost as if we need to have that kind of service even for Thanksgiving, doesn't it? Because there are those among us who are not happy, maybe even not grateful, who are mourning the death or the sickness of a loved one or a friend, who are tired of quarantining and the isolation of being home alone, unable to socialize and fraternize with people who enrich our lives. So there's a lot of grief and difficulty and struggle as well as cause to be grateful and cause to be thankful. So I just want to say that before the prayer so that it is a prayer of thanksgiving, and I am hoping that as many of us as possible can be thankful for something, and if we cannot, that's okay too, because we need to be true to who we are in this moment. So I invite you to join me now, friends, in a spirit of prayer and meditation. If we can, let us give thanks for the honesty which marks friends and makes laughter. Let us give thanks for a fierce gentleness which dares to speak the truth in love and tugs us to join the long march toward justice. Let us give thanks for the sudden gusts of delight which rise unexpectedly in our wending from dawn to dawn. Let us give thanks for children, unabashed, wind rippling in a rain puddle, an owl in the dark wood, a colleague, and a cup of coffee, for all the mysteries of loving, of our bodies next to the bodies of others. Let us give thanks for music and silence, for everything that moves us to tears, to touching, to dreams, to prayers, for our heart's deepest desires, and for our lives. We give thanks for work, which engages us in the internal debate between right and reward, and stretches us toward responsibility to those who pay for our work and those who cannot pay because they have no work. We give thanks for the dream of justice, which repairs the devastations of poverty, and for healing, its possibility, which binds up the broken-bodied and the broken-hearted. We give thanks for good news of love, which is stronger than death, and for peace, that all may sit beneath the fig tree and none be afraid. We give thanks for our vocations, our callings, and we give thanks for the great desire and the great honor of being alive. Who could have imagined it? My. To these imperfect words and ill-shaped thoughts, we add the silent intentions of our hearts and our minds. So may it be. Amen.
Good morning, all. With the adaptations of our service this morning and this time of great adaptation we are all in, we will actually be reserving the sermon portion for the coming week. And so next week I will be sharing with you reflections on Thanksgiving and holding complex histories. And so in this next week, I know as that many people are facing heightened anxiety as you're trying to make the right decision. And for myself, it's as if there's new waves of pandemic grief that's going on as holiday plans and travel change, as if the holidays weren't complicated enough on their own. 2020 has gone and changed everything once again, and really impacted what I know I took for granted and that many of us took for granted. And so whatever you have decided to do in this next week, I pray that you and yours will be happy and healthy this season. And I pray that you find even some spark in the reimagining of traditions that you hold dear and finding what you are still grateful for in the midst of it. And I hope you know how very grateful John and I are to be your ministers, and how very grateful UUC's staff is to each and every one of you for being this community together. Sending you lots of love in this holiday season, love and care. Would you please join me now in singing hymn number 128, For All That Is Our Life.
For all that is our life, we sing both thanks and praise. For all life is a gift, which we are bound to use to build the common good, and make our own days glad. For needs which others serve, for services we give, For sorrow we must bear, for failures, pain, and loss, for each new thing we learn, for fearful hours that pass, we come with praise and thanks. For all that is our life, for all that is our life, we sing our thanks and praise. For all life is a gift which we are bound to use to build the common good and make our own days glad.
Once more, I share this benediction from the poet, U.S. Poet Laureate, Joy Harjo, who is a member of the Muskogee Creek tribe and is the first American Indian named U.S. Poet Laureate, who in this last week was actually just named to serve a rare third term in that role. And this is an excerpt from her poem, Remember. Remember your birth, how your mother struggled to give you form and breath. You are evidence of her life and her mother's and hers. Remember your father. He is your life also. Remember the earth whose skin you are, red earth, black earth, yellow earth, white earth, brown earth. We are earth. Remember the plants, trees, animal life who all have their tribes, their families, their histories too. Talk to them. Listen to them. They are alive people. Alive poems. Remember you are all people and all people are you. Remember you are this universe and this universe is you. Remember.